Hey guys, what's up? Admin Sheep here with the first ever episode of Behind the Scenes on CC. It's a series I've been wanting to do for a long time because I do a lot of stuff in between Creeper Catastrophe episodes to make sure the world is functioning and everything's doing what it's supposed to do. So that's basically what it is, just behind the scenes stuff. So we just finished the Easter episode yesterday, so we're going to get some updates done today. And to start that, I'm going to head over to the broken ass admin tower. Admin tower, admin cabin. This is broken because I accidentally used my world edit tool and destroyed the front entrance, and I just haven't finished it yet. It was an oopsie. But if we go down here, we have a little checklist of all the things that I have to do in between episodes. This is all the major stuff, and then we have some other extras if I have time. But this is the major stuff, so let's see. Panda shipping boxes and eggs. Okay, I'm going to click that on as done because I'm going to go take care of that. Actually, while I'm at Pandas, let's see. The rent should get taken care of, and the bar should get taken care of. So, essentially, Panda has shipping boxes where he can ship produce in Ashtown to get money for it. He also gets a block of emerald in rent from an NPC named Martin, who lives in his condominium on his land. And Panda also owns the local bar, so he gets income from that as well. So I need to go put that income in his mailbox and see if he has anything in his shipping bins. I don't think that he does because he wasn't here last episode. But I still need to pay him from week to week. So it's actually 2 weeks in between episodes. So he gets one payment every 2 weeks. But every 2 weeks is known as a cycle. So if you ever hear me say per cycle, that'll be every 2 weeks. So that's how often we stream. So Panda's mailbox. And this is his payments from last week. So he gets one emerald block from Martin. So we're going to give him an emerald block from Martin. So that'll make it 2. And then he gets anywhere between 19 and 25 emerald blocks from the bar income, depending. I don't think that the Easter episode would have given him a whole lot of income from the bar, like St. Patrick's Day did, so we're going to stick with the 19 for this cycle. Alrighty. Now that is done, then we go back to our little checklist. It's a little bit of back and forth, but that's okay. Okay, back at our checklist. What's next? Dorian owns part of the animal barn, which is a like a meat and animal shop in Ashtown. So I have to pay him. He gets 10% of the profits. Now, I would love to say that I calculate the profits every week and calculate 10% and give him that, but no, I give him a few diamonds and a few emeralds. That's essentially what I do, and it's different amounts every week because I would consider that it would fluctuate in how much profit it made from cycle to cycle. So we're going to get some diamonds, and we're going to get some emeralds, and we're going to drop it off in his mailbox. It looks like he still had some from last week, but that's okay. So we're going to go 16 emeralds, and let's do 8 diamonds. It's kind of random what he gets. Alright, that's taken care of. Blah, blah, blah. That's taken care of. Now we can check that off. Now this isn't the only stuff that I do, but this is the stuff that absolutely needs to get done every single cycle. So animal pay, the storage, that takes a long time, so I do that last usually. So this is a company payment. I pull this little lever here, it sends off this command block, which if you look at the start menu, Torch Meadows has 65,136 currency. Essentially, one currency is one emerald. Dorian had set up an agreement with several companies that had moved into town. Afterworld Inc. and Underworld Inc. and any local businesses that come in. It's basically like taxes that they pay to the city. So they get a certain amount of emeralds, and then there are a couple shopkeepers that don't take emeralds or diamonds as payment. They take experience and gold, and there is no currency exchange for that. It's not like you can only get currency from emeralds and diamonds, not from gold and experience. So what I do is I go down here and get the gold and the experience, and we will be putting that amount for this cycle into a safety deposit box in the bank in the back of the bunker. I went too far. So let's go over here. I have a shulker box here that's got the weekly gold and experience. So I pick that, I make a duplicate of it, I pick it up and take it over to the safety deposit box. So if the town ever needs to pay some sort of fee via experience or gold, they have a stash of it. So I believe that's the right one. Yep. Okay. And we put the gold in here. There's not a lot in here because they just recently paid for the community center to be rebuilt, and that cost a lot of gold. So I put the door back, push the button to get back. These safety deposit boxes cannot be opened by anybody in survival. There's bedrock around all the walls, and there's deny blocks under the floor, which means they can't mine these doors out. So these are absolutely secure safety deposit boxes. So now the town of Torch Meadows has been paid for its cycle from all the businesses and their taxes. I keep track of that because sometimes big purchases are made by the town, like, say, building the community center, and that does cost them money, so they have to manage the treasury. What the hell is that? Why is there a giant hole that leads down into the admin cabin? What happened here? I don't even want to know. Okay, and back at it. Let's see, what else? The hedge maze, windy, volcano. Okay, the volcano's pretty easy to do. Let's go ahead and take care of the volcano. So over here is my custom volcano. I replaced every single one of these blocks by hand. I didn't use any commands. There was also a big gap here, like right along here, which I also filled in by hand. And then there's another gap over here, which I also filled in by hand. So this is like the mountains were already here, but I replaced all the dirt blocks with the is it concrete? No, terracotta, with all the terracotta and everything, and I planted every one of these trees and knocked off all the leaves. Now, the statue up here was built by another player in creative for me, because I'm not very good at statues, so. But basically, the volcano is this dangerous place, and there are spawners for blazes and magma cubes. And if you go down here, there's this one little shulker box that usually has a prize in it, or some sort of reward for getting to it. It's already full. None of the players took anything from it. If the players had taken something from it, I would have replaced it with another item, but nobody went into the volcano this cycle. So the volcano has been checked and it's taken care of. So moving on. Alrighty, what else we got? Okay, now it's just down to the semi-difficult stuff. I'm doing the storage last. It takes a long time, so I guess we can take care of the hedge maze. In the beginning of CC, there was an NPC named Beatrice, and she was a grumpy old lady. And my player Dorian decided to make friends with her. So every week he would go into her garden and clear out the tall grass and get rid of the chickens that I would spawn in that were eating all her seeds, and he was just nice to her. Over the years, that garden has evolved into a hedge maze. So every cycle, he can go into the hedge maze and collect items out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our little admin only area in the hedge maze. Now, this whole thing's covered in barrier blocks, so you can't just fly over it and cheat, you know. So we're going to just go down here. This is a little secret tunnel that he does know about. And this is like a big, this is a part of the maze that if, you know, he goes down here, he gets a lot of rewards. But what he doesn't know is I think it's here, yep, this little underground admin thing. So there are different things throughout the entire hedge maze, different barrels and stoves and all kinds of stuff like that. They're all throughout the entire head mage at certain dead ends and things like that. And basically each one of these command blocks copies, say, that barrel to the barrel that's in the hedge maze, or that cauldron to the cauldron that's in the hedge maze. So I just need to go through here and change out the items that he gets from week to week in all these containers, and then I just press the button and it copies it all for me. So, the first barrel here, this is always going to be full of glowstone. There's a quest later on where they're going to need tons and tons and tons of glowstone. So, every cycle, I give him 27 glowstone so he can start saving up for that quest later that he doesn't quite know about yet. But he always checks the hedge maze and he always gets his items. So, this one's always going to stay glowstone. This one here, I try to do some kind of food. So last cycle it was strawberries. So I guess this cycle we'll do, say, blueberries. Some kind of food item I try to put in here. I try to put garden-themed items inside the hedge maze because it is just one big garden. Alright, got golden carrots. Last week, let's give him some regular carrots this week. Alright, and this is always just a random potion. I never really pick the potion, I just kind of do this and pick one, and then I fill up the cauldron. I don't even know what kind of potion that was. Regeneration, cool. And this always has 3 glass bottles so that he can collect the potion and he doesn't have to carry around bottles. Looks like I gave him iron in the furnaces last time. So we'll give him, say, copper this time around. So we need to find copper ore. Deep slate. Doesn't matter whether it's deep slate copper or what it is. There we go, copper. I usually don't give him more than a stack. Sometimes I'll give him less, but it's usually a stack between the 2 furnaces. Okay, seeds. He always gets seeds because you can trade seeds for emeralds. So I always try to give him a few seeds. So that one always stays the same. And that one too. This one, he got a spore blossom. This is a dispenser that spits something out. So I always try to make sure it's an unstackable item. I think I'll give him a netherite hoe. Not super useful, but pretty rewarding if you need it. Same thing with this item frame. It only holds one item, so I try to put something that doesn't stack or something a little more valuable. I don't want to give him a wither skeleton skull. Just one. Wither skeleton skull. There we go. And these are usually mushroom blocks because there's a section that's got mushrooms in it. Some kind of mushroom block. It changes from week to week. That was the stem, so this week I'll probably give him some red ones or something. Once I can find them. They're always hard to find in the creative menu. No, too far. Let's see. There we are. Now let's give him some brown ones. Alright, and this one always has saplings. And I just kind of go down the line every cycle and give him the next one in line. As you can see, it's all kind of garden themed stuff. Lily pads. Alright, so how about we do vines this time? Vines. And this is all just chosen randomly. Shroom light. Okay. Then we'll give him some glow lichen. I try to put similar items in there. Glow lichen. Okay, got blueberries. How about sweet berries? Okay, azaleas. Then we'll do flowering azaleas. Big drip leaf. Little drip leaf. Wherever the hell it is. There it is. Small drip leaf. Why not? Alright, so that's all the containers inside the hedge maze. So all I do is I hit the button, and then it does everything for me. That's done. Absolutely taken care of. And then all I have to do is fill up this little room here. There's this little secret door over here that he knows about. I usually try to put some sort of valuable item in there. I think I'm going to give him another budding amethyst. Let's put that in there. And then this little corner here is always filled with resource blocks. And it's random how many I put in. Copper, gold, iron. I do emerald, diamond, copper, gold, and iron. So it's random, but I always fill up that little corner there. You know. And over here, this first one is always filled with some type of tipped arrow. It's also random which one it is. I never really pick a particular one. This one's got arrow. The second one usually has potions. Only 9 though, because they don't stack. So I just fill up my hotbar with random potions, put them in there. And this last one, random enchanted books. And then this over here always also has some sort of valuable item. I think I'm gonna just give him a diamond shovel. Why not? And then there's only one more thing to do with the hedge maze. And we're all done. So we get out of here. All that other stuff is done. At the center of the maze, there's an armor stand. And it always has some sort of item in it. Like it's holding something for him. So we gotta do that. Pick up the bear block. Find my way out. Put this back. So, like, here's the center. And what are we gonna give him? I'm gonna give him a nether star. No, I'll give him a second wither skeleton skull. I don't have 2. He needs 3 to summon the wither. So. Oh, okay, that works. I thought it was gonna appear in his hand, but it's an armor stand, so I guess that makes sense. So that's the hedge maze, all done. I just wish the snow would not fall onto the barrier blocks. It looks kind of tacky. Alright, so Wendy's. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this off. I don't do this every cycle. I did for a long time, but I don't do it every cycle now. So there's an area called Wendy's Waste Not. It's basically a junkyard, essentially. And I want the junkyard to keep growing and getting bigger. One of my players, Cheese, likes to throw things down into this Sparta pit over here, which we have. We have a giant Sparta pit, which is pretty cool. So I thought it would be funny if every time he threw something down there, because he uses it as a trash can, that it would end up at the junkyard. So I have this little command block that captures any items that gets thrown into this pit, and they get put into this chest. So every cycle, I should be taking the stuff out. You can see it's piled up a little bit. I should be taking the stuff out of this chest and taking it over to Wendy's. I also sometimes add additional blocks out there. You'll see when we get there. So I'm going to use the fast travel system we have in place called the Keystone. Never mind that Easter egg. Okay, this is a Keystone, and this is a fast teleport to all the major locations. This one is for Wendy's. So this is the junkyard. I started out pretty small, and it's getting bigger and bigger as we go along, but... So I want to either find a container or make a container to put this stuff into. So I'm going to scan this area here, see if there's any boxes or barrels or chests or anything of that like. I'm sure that you guys are probably seeing ones that I'm not seeing. There's got to be a barrel here somewhere. There we go. Oh, looks like I already used this one. Alright, so let's just make another barrel randomly over here. There. And I'll put all this stuff into it. And since this is the first episode, I will add some items to this. So when I add items to it, I randomly pick them. I just, I mean, unless it ends up being like a diamond block or something, I'm gonna have a hard time placing that down, so... I try to fill up my hotbar with blocks that I can place down. That'll be fun if somebody ever mines that. Infested bricks. Yeah, sure, why not? Loom, okay. I'm good with that. Piston. We've got a lot of boats around here. I don't want to do boats. How about it? A bookshelf. So I'll just go around the outer edge and place random blocks to make it expand a little bit. The players are allowed to come out here and harvest any of the blocks that they want if they want to dig through the junkyard to find the good stuff, because sometimes I'll put down shulker boxes and things like that, but this is essentially how we do this. Just keep expanding it out as much as we can. We can't really go much farther in this direction. And then once I've made a full circle, I'll switch the item that I'm using. So now it's doors. Let's montage this one. Alright, that's another layer onto the junkyard. So let's go back to the admin cabin. See what else there is to do. Alright, so it looks like the only thing left that we have to do is the storage, which I said we were going to do last because that takes forever, and the quest books. The quest books actually are pretty involved as well. So I think I'm going to save that for the next episode. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you stay tuned and stay crafty. Bye!